What up, YouTube? Survivalist News. We're over here at sweetliberty.org. We're talking about the greatest hoax. Who warned you? And here's a list of shit I'm gonna read to you. I probably won't read them all, but you'll get the point of what's going on. Okay, this is about our financial system and who owns us and all this shit. It's got the laws, everything for reference. You can look up yourself, and this is all 100% law. True. Okay. So who owns you? 1. The IRS is not a U.S. government agency. It is an agency of the IMF, the International Monetary Fund. Okay. Diversified Metal Products, IRS, ETL, CV 93-405E. Just look that up. Public Law 94-564. Senate Report 94. Copy and paste it in your box up here. Fucking forgot what you call it, but yeah, anyway. And look it up yourself. But 2, the IMF is an agency of the UN, Black's Law Dictionary. The U.S. has not had a treasury since 1921. The U.S. Treasury is now the IMF, controlled by the British. The U.S. Treasury is now the IMF. The United States does not have any employees because there is no longer a United States. No more reorganizations after over 200 years of operating under bankruptcy is finally over. Executive Order 12803. Do not personate one of the creditors or shareholders, or you will go to prison. 18 U.S.C. 1942. See, so we're collateral. If anybody listening to me has listened to Harvey Dent, well, here is all of it. This is a good reference page with all the laws. If you look up sovereign living and you're into, fighting back against the court system, look these laws up. Now here we go. Let's get into some more. There are no judicial courts in America, and all judges are clerks. And there has not been since 1789. Judges do not enforce statutes and codes. Executive ministers enforce statutes and codes. Right here. Okay? You want to go after the prosecutor every time. These judges are nothing but clerks. Stand your ground. Alright, 9. There have not been any judges in America since... Oh, I didn't read that. Oh, no, I didn't know that. Okay. There have not been any judges in America since 1789. There have just been administrators, clerks. According to the GATT, G-A-T-T, you must have a Social Security number, House Report 103-826. We have one world government, one world law, and a one world monetary system. The UN is a one world super government. No one on this planet has ever been free. This planet is a slave colony. There has also been one world government. It is just that now it is much better organized and has changed its name as of 1945 to the United Nations. 1945. Look, 1945, the United Nations. Look up the connections to Israel's creation during this time. Okay, we'll jump down here to 15. Social Security is not insurance or a contract, nor is there a trust fund. Yep, right there. Your Social Security check comes directly from the IMF, which is an agency of the UN. Look at it if you receive one. It should have written on the top left United States Treasury. And we're going to talk about Treasury. Okay? You own no property. That's why you pay your taxes on your property. Slaves can't own property. Read the deed to the property that you think is yours. You were listed as a tenant. Senate Document 43, 73rd Congress, First Session. The most powerful court in America is not the United States Supreme Court, but the Supreme Court in Pennsylvania. 42 PAC SA 502. The Revolutionary War was a fraud. The King of England financially backed both sides of the Revolutionary War. It goes back to divide and conquer right there. You see how far the divide and conquer method has, how long it has been going on. This is a derived plan for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years. Okay, they plan to make us slaves, and I believe the Constitution kind of defended against it, but people got loopholes through it because Americans just don't understand anymore. They don't know what freedom and liberty is. But let's get on to 21. You cannot use the Constitution to defend yourself because you were not a party to it. Right here. I mean, don't ever claim to be sovereign. But that's the only way you can get it. I don't believe in the UCC1 forms. I don't believe in the birth certificate thing. I believe in identifying myself as, a human being that doesn't go by this system. If you look up your laws and rights in the Black's Law Dictionary, you can see that. Like driving, you don't drive, you travel. You travel from point A to point B. You have freedom of travel. Okay, in order to have a driver's license, well, the reason you have to have a driver's license is if you're driving commercially. Like police, they're driving for business, they're driving privately, so they need a commercial license. Truck drivers, ambulances, fire trucks, medical supplies, you have to have a driver's license. But if you're not driving commercially, the Supreme Court has ruled you do not have to have it. You just have to know your shit. If you don't know your shit, you're going to get yourself in major, major trouble. Okay? America is a British colony. The United States is a corporation, not a landmass, and it existed before the Revolutionary War, and the British troops did not leave until 1796. Respublika versus Swears 1 Dallas 43, Treaty of Commerce 8 Stat 116. The Society for Propagating the Gospel. So, copy and search that. Copy and paste that to search. Britain is owned by the Vatican. Treaty of 1213. Telling you, this is a plan from Satan. The Pope can abolish any law in the United States. Motu proprio. Harvey Dent. Okay. A 1040 form is a tribute paid to Britain. IRS Publication 6209. The Pope claims to own the entire planet through the laws of conquest and discovery. Papal bulls of 1459 and 1493. The Pope has ordered the genocide and enslavement of millions of people. Papal bulls of 1455 and 1493. The Pope's laws are obligatory on everyone. Yep, 1844. We are slaves and owned absolutely nothing. Not even, we think, our own children, because your birth certificate is giving your children over to these fucking demented people. The military dictator George Washington divided the estates into districts. Messages and Papers of the President, Volume 1, page 99, Webster's 1828 Dictionary for definition of estate. Estate. You really need to know what that means. I'm not going to go into it here because this video's already went longer than what I wanted to. Okay, the people does not include you and me. The United States government was not founded upon Christianity. Instead, in my belief, it was created on Satanism. It is not the duty of the police to protect you. Their job is to protect the corporation and arrest code breakers. Sapp vs. Tallahassee, 348 S.O. 2nd, 363, Reed 1st City of Philadelphia, 477. Look, their job is to protect the corporation. That's why when you get pulled over, they're enforcing all these laws. It's like another tax on you. That's all they're doing. Like, they have to bring in money. That's their main goal, is the money and arrest people. Oh man, it's just so sad that people can't see it. I mean, support your police officers when we're nothing but human capital. Executive Order 130337. Let's click on this. Okay, you see the executive order and all this stuff. I'll leave both links in the description box. But let's go back and finish this off. Okay, the United Nations has financed the operations of the United States government for over 50 years and now owns every man, woman, and child in America. The United Nations also holds all the land in America in fee simple. The good news is we don't have to fulfill our fictitious obligations. You can discharge a fictitious obligation with another fictitious obligation. The Depression and World War II were a total farce. The United States and various other companies were making loans to others all over the world during the Depression. The building of Germany's infrastructure in the 1930s, including the railroads, was financed by the United States. That way those who call themselves kings, prime ministers, and some shit like that, etc., could sit back and play a game of chess using real people. Think of all the Americans, Germans, etc., who gave their lives thinking they were defending their countries, which didn't even exist, because they're estates. See? It's all a game. It's a financial game and a war on the people. The millions of innocent people who died for nothing, isn't it obvious why Switzerland is never involved in these fiascos? That is where the Bank of International Settlements is located. Wars are manufactured to keep your eye off the ball. You have to have an enemy to keep the illusion of government in place. Because people are so fearful that they have to have somebody to tell them what to do. Okay, the people telling them what to do, get them scared. And, when you get somebody scared, you've got them in the palm of your hand. And that can't happen. That's the demise of America. We're letting these people take over us. The United States did not declare independence from Great Britain or King George. Guess who owns the United Nations? Caveat redemptor, verify for yourself. Look at all of this shit. I'm gonna put a bookmark on this. Get into that more definitely. I'm gonna look into these and show you 100% proof that we're owned. And we're just cattle. We're goyim. Goyim. That's what we are to these motherfuckers. Then it's time to realize it. But anyway, I'll leave the links in the description box. Thank you for listening. Like, comment, subscribe. Let's get a conversation going. Like Harvey Dent says, let your friends know you're alive. And let's get this. Let's fight back and let's get this. Deuces, YouTube.